Well, if you have stepped outside or maybe if you just gotten up this morning, you will know that spring is long gone and the snow is back. So we do have team coverage all morning.
Yeah, that's right. We have Nicole Hernandez in the KREM 2 Storm Tracker this morning, giving you a look at road conditions as well as the city's homeless response as we see temperatures drop below freezing.
But before we get to her, let's get right to meteorologist Jeremy Legoo because he's letting us know just how much longer we can expect to see these cold temps and to see if we can expect any more snow in our future. Good morning, Jeremy.
Hi, Jenny. It's the second time.
I see you.
I can't not have fun with that shot. It's just too much. And so here we go. This morning, we have temperatures in the single digits, but they feel like they're about 10 degrees below zero. And oftentimes I do get emails from people being like, why do you do what you do? Because it's fun. You would probably do the same thing if you saw yourself kind of behind Shannon. It's just fun. 10 degrees below zero is what it feels like outside. And for that reason, we have wind chill advisories in effect for feels like temperatures trending between 0 and 20 degrees below zero across the inland northwest today, tonight, and tomorrow morning. They expire eventually tomorrow at 10 a.m. But for now, just know our current temps feel quite a bit colder. So when you walk outside, it'll feel like it's 2 in Moses Lake or 3 in Ephrata, 6 in Omak, -3 in Pullman, 10 below zero in Spokane, 11 below in Coeur d'Alene, and Sandpoint, 26 below zero over Lookout Pass. Putting it in motion, watch what happens though. Even as we get into the middle part of the day, we're at peak sunshine. We should start to feel a bit warmer. A few things are going on. One of those is that the sun won't do a great job of warming us up. The reason? Well, a lot of that snow is reflecting off that sunlight, so it's not really warming the ground or the pavement. And another is the wind is just going to stay strong. We're going to keep advecting in some of this Arctic air, and what that means for you is that it stays cold. It stays wind chill factor kind of cold. So as we move through the day and our temperatures climb to up near 20, it will never quite feel like we get out of the single digits.
Well, this morning, Liberty and Freeman school districts are on a 2-hour delay due to weather conditions. Of course, we'll continue to update you if any more schools decide to delay or cancel classes. Also new this morning, Silver Mountain is closed today due to the weather. They posted this message on their Instagram earlier this morning saying that they will be closed.
Well, as we see the winter weather make its return, we're also seeing the impact it's had on our roads.
That's right. So KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is in the KREM 2 Storm Tracker, taking a look at the road conditions before you head out on your morning commute.
Yes, so we've been driving around all morning. Right now we're on the lower South Hill, and I'll give you a look at what the roads look like. We're driving along 9th right now, and you can see just completely covered in snow right now. It's quite dramatic, the difference between what we were seeing just a few days ago to now. We're back into complete winter driving here. You can see the side roads that we're looking at here are mostly snow covered. Some of our main roads, our main arterials are looking a little bit better than this. You know, our Ray, our Thor, our Division, all of them, they're a little bit more clear, but any moisture that stayed on the roads overnight really stuck around because of how cold it's been, really just completely froze. So that's something to look out for. Anywhere you're going, you're going to want to look out for that frozen moisture on the roads. It's causing some really slippery areas, particularly in downtown. Our photojournalist Alizano mentioned that it just looked like an ice rink. So just be extra careful. Give yourself time as you're heading out the door and be prepared for this winter driving for a while, as of course our temperatures are staying pretty cold. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Well, during a stretch of weather like this, it is important to be prepared outside, inside, and of course while traveling.
So when you are outside, dress in multiple layers in order to stay warm, especially on a day like today when the wind is strong and it causes the wind chills to drop. It's also a good idea to keep an eye on your pets as well, as the cold can be extremely dangerous for some animals.
Meanwhile, inside, you'll want to keep warm air circulating throughout your home, especially where the plumbing is. This gives you the best chance to keep your pipes from freezing over. You can also drip water to protect your pipes. It's also a good idea to check in with your older neighbors and family members to make sure they are comfortable during this cold stretch of weather.
Now, as for drivers, you're going to want to make sure that you have an emergency kit in your car while traveling. That kit should include things like blankets, water, phone chargers, batteries, and a first aid kit.
Well, there is one good thing that really came out of this late winter snow. No Lie handed out their free shovels. The brew house announced earlier this year that after the first big February snowfall that they'd be handing out free snow shovels to anyone who stopped by. But there was a catch. If you snagged one, you have to pay it forward. So the brewery says this is their big community cure that brings us together to lend a hand to our neighbors.
Now, of course, to stay on top of the weather, you can do so with the KREM 2 app. You can sign up to get severe weather alerts or just check the forecast in your neighborhood. You can download that app in your phone's app store. 8:06 now, time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
The CDC could update its mask guidance as early as this week as COVID cases and hospitalizations across the country continue to fall. Every state except Hawaii will drop their indoor mask mandates. Meanwhile, both the governors of California and Utah say they're shifting to an endemic approach to the coronavirus. Happening today, the Colville School District is removing its mask mandate for students only. Staff will still be required to wear their face coverings. They will be the third Eastern Washington School District to violate the state's mask mandate, following Kettle Falls and Richland School Districts. Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced the indoor mask mandate will be lifted on March 21st.
Happening today, a former Newport police officer will appear in court for an arraignment. Raul Lopez was previously booked into the Bonner County Jail with 5 counts of sexually abusing a child. In court, he will be read his charges, and there will be a motion for a bond reduction or release. Lopez previously worked as a resource officer at the Newport Unified School District. Also today, the trial begins for the man accused of killing his ex-wife and a person experiencing homelessness back in 2020. 36-year-old Nathan Beal pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder in connection to his ex-wife Mary Schaefer's death in August of 2020. According to court records, Beal is also accused of killing Andrew Michael Bull in April of that same year. Prosecutors believe that Beal used Bull as practice for killing his ex-wife.
Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs are the unanimous #1 pick in the latest AP Top 25 poll. This is the second straight week that they sit at #1. The Zags received all 61 votes from eligible poll voters. They are currently undefeated in conference play and are currently projected to be the top seed for this year's March Madness. And that's a look at your morning rush.
Well, this is a story that's been unfolding over the past several days. The firing of former Spokane County Deputy Craig Chamberlain after an internal investigation.
Current Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich is pushing back against claims Chamberlain was fired for politically motivated reasons. Chamberlain announced his candidacy for Spokane County Sheriff last week. The sheriff claims Chamberlain had a history of issues with the department. An internal investigation opened in November surrounding the reference letter Chamberlain wrote for a man charged with possession of child pornography.
The sheriff says he was not fired for writing the letter, but rather lying about the circumstances surrounding it, claiming that Chamberlain knew about the charges. Chamberlain says he did not know about the charges until he confirmed it with a detective.
I did not ask what type of case. He did not specify what type of case. He told me there was an active case. It was a Spokane Police Department case, and that's all I wanted to know.
Well, Sheriff Knezovich says Chamberlain's story changed in all 3 interviews during the internal investigation. The sheriff says Chamberlain's record with the sheriff's office includes 3 internal investigations.
It was almost impossible for me to keep it all straight in reference to the number of times he changed his story. These markers, all inconsistencies, folks.
I was completely 100% forthcoming about this entire process. For one, it had absolutely nothing to do with me. It wasn't my investigation.
Well, Chamberlain claims the sheriff had political motives for firing him since he is now running for sheriff. Knezovich says that isn't true because he spent a decade supporting Chamberlain's career, which included several years of serving as the sheriff's public information officer.
As of now, 2 people are running to take over for Sheriff Knezovich as he's not running for re-election. Chamberlain is running against Under Sheriff John Knowles. Current Sheriff Knezovich is endorsing Knowles' campaign. Now, KREM 2 has submitted a public records request for the documents relating to Chamberlain's internal investigation. Of course, we'll continue to update you once we receive those copies.
Tensions between Ukraine and Russia are creating a global crisis, so we explain why it is so important and how it could impact you.
And the one thing to know about weather, well, we're cold. We've got an Arctic air mass in place, and those wind chills have us feeling like we're below zero. We'll let you know how long it sticks around.
And that brings us to our wake-up call this morning. With all of the snow we saw across the region, we want to see your snow photos. Show us what it looks like outside your window, or maybe show us how you're staying warm and watching Up With Krim this morning. Text us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag UpWithKrim on social media.